Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of what we have decided to call Mama B and Me. So, this is Mama Bear, my
Hey.
mom, and this was an idea we thought of years ago, and we both talked about maybe starting a YouTube channel dedicated to like doing a little podcast of our own to show like the different generations and
For
hot
sure.
topics on our minds that are different.
Yeah.
So we actually both prepared a list of topics that are interesting to us, but we did this a while back, so
Should I
we'll
pull up
see.
my list?
Sure. We'll see how
Let's start with
relevant they
yours.
are to this day, and we're just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna get cozy.
All right.
I like to put my leg on my seat.
I
It's
used
a-
to be able to do that. There's one of your big differences in the generation.
Well, that's not a generational difference, that's an age difference.
Yeah. Okay, what's your first topic?
Wait, there was something I was gonna say. It's a bad habit that I put my leg on my seat because you reprimanded me when I was little when I would do that at the dining table. Or you told me that your parents wouldn't have allowed that. Like they would have thought it was
Put your
disrespectful.
elbows on the table back in the day.
Yeah, that's a difference too.
Yeah.
Because you didn't tell me I couldn't eat if I had my leg up, but it was more comfortable. Okay.
Even I did that as long as I could.
The first thing I wrote, this is my first time reading this, and since 2021, November 22nd, 2021, calling people pussy or saying grow a pair.
Oh, I don't like any of that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
It's a little harsh.
What's wrong with a pussy?
It divides people. It's offensive to enough people that I would just stay away from it.
And so I made a side note that said grow a baby.
Or
I feel like we should tell people to grow a baby.
Yes, my main complaint was that the P word is associated with women, and that's a put down. Yet having something males have is supposedly a good thing for people. That's what I was opposed to. It's like female bashing.
Yeah. So pussy is supposedly like
A derogatory
term.
What else you got?
Grow a pair is like a
supposed to be
yeah.
a
It's
great
good
thing.
if you can grow a pair.
Exactly.
But you're
Even
a pussy
if you're
you
a
don't.
woman. Exactly.
Yeah, so I made a note that we should say grow a baby because vaginas are badass.
That's even more divisive. So
it was a joke. It was kind of a joke. But then people all say
they just need to get rid of the divisive.
I agree. But people also say you're a dick. That's not a good thing. But it's different than.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my first.
A lot of names for that. It bugs the shit out of me that young people call giving a toast cheersing. Just because you happen to say cheers when you're done with your toast, it's not cheersing. It's making a toast.
Yeah.
Rebut that.
I don't. I completely agree.
Fine. Moving along.
Maybe I'd feel differently if I was raised by like a younger.
It's called making a toast.
Younger parent.
Let's make a toast.
Who believes in cheersing.
But and then once you're done with your toast, you can say cheers and clink glasses. So whatever.
Yep.
What else you got?
I wrote labels. So I'm guessing this is just like how do you feel about labels in general?
Any labels?
Do you like to label things? You don't like labels?
Are we talking about spices or people?
People.
Yeah, see, I don't like labels.
And
but you and I have recently realized that a label is good if it gives you access to resources or something positive. But if a label is, again, derogatory or limiting, then it's not good. So, yeah, there's reasons for it. Arguments for and against depending on the situation and the person.
If a label, and even derogatory things, some people like have taken back those labels.
Right.
Like now girls say bitch, and it's like a compliment.
Yeah.
I call my friends bitch. Yeah, and that's like, wow.
I guess it's for the individual, how the individual feels and how the group that's using it.
I think my takeaway is that if it empowers you, good.
Speaking of empowering, the next thing I have is nothing happens without you visualizing it first. It's so important to see in your mind's eye, whether you're dreaming or daydreaming or goal setting, to visualize something. if you want it to happen. It's just the beginning of any manifestation. It's very powerful.
That's true.
You can't think of anything that you've accomplished that you haven't seen first, imagined.
Yeah. For the people that are skeptical of like manifestation, that's all it really means, right?
Yeah.
We are thinking it and seeing it in our heads to then put action into it. Manifestation doesn't mean you can just lay there and like see it and not do anything and
you gotta
everything
give it energy.
Just, yeah. You do gotta.
Oh, we do that yeah thing.
That's
so embarrassing. Yeah. In tandem. So is it your turn?
Yeah. 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 The other day we were talking about, I was playing Ariana Grande songs for her and she was like, she loves to do that thing, the yeah. And so we were going, yeah, after everything. So we could do that instead of yeah. Okay, I wrote our relationship with weight over the years. And then I made a note, checking the scale every day, fluctuating, never feeling 100% good or confident. This is a deep one.
Sounds a little OCD. So whether it's weight or your bank account or anything, it's not healthy to check anything too frequently and obsess. But when you are
obsessive, it's like an illusion of control. Okay, I'm in control of checking the scale once every day. I'm in control of checking my account once a day. I'm in control of applying to this many jobs every day. Well, and it brings you what you think is comfort, but it's actually very stressful.
If it's not adversely affecting your life, it's okay. I check my stocks, my 401k throughout the day. Just because I'm curious. It's not, when it goes down, I'm not stressing over it and contacting my financial planner.
And when it goes up, you're not like, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Exactly. So I enjoy checking it. It's a time filler. But if it was adversely affecting my behavior and causing unnecessary reactions, then it's not healthy.
So a big takeaway from everything we've talked about thus far is just
if it's not adversely affecting your life,
go easy on yourself.
Everything in moderation. Yeah.
And yeah, just be kind to yourself. Everyone deals with like body dysmorphia and
say more about that. Describe that to people. What is it?
Well, I don't know the exact definition.
Is it hating your body no matter what it looks like?
Let's say you're by definition skinny, but you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm fat because you ate something different one day, or you're just not feeling it that day.
Should we ask Siri?
Or the opposite. Or I don't know, you just don't feel good even though you're good. Noticing the things like no one else would notice or like think about. And it sucks.
Hey Siri, what is dysmorphia?
Body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphic disorder, also known as dysmorphophobia. Phophobia. You can't stop thinking about one or more perceived defects or flaws in your appearance.
Yes.
When it's minor. So it's just that you can't stop thinking about it. You obsess about it.
The first time I remember really thinking about my weight was in freshman year. Somehow I started noticing the scale and what I weighed more. And that's when I first ever felt like, oh my God. Like I was just like, oh, now I got to think about this thing when I never thought about it before that. And looking back, I'm like, that's crazy.
Have you weighed every day since then?
No. No. My journey was, after that, over the years in high school, I started binging for other comfort and obsessive reasons. And then all of a sudden, like, it was affecting my health. I, like, had blood pressure issues, and then I was overweight. I was like, okay, this is affecting my health. Like, I could not even get on birth control, my doctor said, until my blood pressure was fixed, so I started losing weight for that reason, and then I became really obsessive about the weight loss journey. And then once I reached my goal weight, I was obsessive about going to the gym and building muscle. And then I forgot about everything. And then I gained a bunch of weight again, and then the cycle repeated itself. And right now, I'm back in like, okay, I'm kind of around my goal weight again, but now I want to get into the gym and build muscle. And it's just like a constant, I don't know. Sometimes you wish you could just like shut it off and not think about your body. It's annoying.
That's why I don't
good, but it's good to like be mindful.
Many mirrors.
Yeah, there's like a challenge where people
stop doing that.
People don't look in the mirror for a week, and what they think of themselves changes like so much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be less black and white with myself now. Fluctuations are normal. Even if you lose all the weight and get to your goal weight or gain the weight you want and you're at your goal weight, like things will make your weight change eventually, whether you have a kid or you have to go on some diet for other health reasons. And we just need to be kinder to ourselves and others, because I've heard people talk about this too, like even saying, oh, you look skinny, like maybe that person's trying to gain weight and they're insecure that they're so skinny.
It's hard these days, yeah. Because people used to say those kinds of things all the time. Oh, you look great. Or you lost weight? And now, as you say, you can't even say that because you don't know why or what the goal was or how, if they just came out of a
we have freedom of speech, so we can
eating
say
disorder
that, but
hospital.
it could really have some negative effects on somebody.
Exactly. Or make them go extreme that direction because of all the positive comments they got. Yeah, for sure. My next one is online advocacy. I want to encourage everyone, young and old. It is so simple to be an armchair advocate. I'm not asking you to go march downtown or stop the freeway, but there are literally dozens and hundreds of sites that promote, whether you want to save the animals or clean the sea or eliminate trash on the beach or fix the minimum wage. There's so many things you can do just by signing petitions that really are effective.
What are some websites where I could go do that,
I
Mom?
knew you were going to say that. And I delete them as soon as I sign on to them. There are literally so many. Just look up your cause. And then once you get on those, actually, because the organizations support dozens of issues. So it's not like you need a different organization for every issue. So I'll get an email in the morning and it will literally say sign on to this. And if I sign on to that, it takes me to the next page. Do you want to sign on to save the... Today it was gray wolves.
What about gray wolves?
Keeping them as a protected species. That kind of thing. I mean, once you sign one, then it takes you to another page saying, do you want to sign on this one and sign on this one and sign on this one?
What's an unprotected species? Like they're free to kill?
Yeah, pretty much.
I watched a documentary about this in class. I forget what animal it was, but all of a sudden they had
once
freedom
they're
to kill them, and it was like,
endangered.
Once you allow the killing of an animal, it's crazy how quickly, like, the population would go down. Because who would want a wolf?
So much of that. So many good causes. Whatever your cause is, just get involved. Help where you can. Help with money if you can. Volunteer your time if you can. But the petition thing is just so easy to do.
And if you want to go protest, great. But this is for the people that maybe don't feel so comfortable with that.
Even fighting the whole factory farm where you go vegan sometimes because of the way animals are treated. Yeah. In the inhumane way that the chickens are raised.
But everyone can do something. Yeah. Everyone has their own power.
Easy to do, yeah.
Just gotta be mindful and think outside the box sometimes.
Pet peeve of the older generation, I'm gonna jump in while you're looking, that they're not teaching handwriting in school anymore, which the new generation calls it cursive, I guess. They're not teaching keyboarding even, and y'all are on keyboards all the time. I still hold the record for speed on typing tests from the 1970s because they don't teach it anymore. I don't have to look. I can just fly.
I tried to learn cursive on my own. I downloaded these like printable cursive like tracing sheets.
Oh, yeah, you did for a while.
But I just got bored.
Well, there's no incentive to do it.
Yeah.
Although we could do a competition, even writing the same paragraph, I'd be done in 2 seconds and you'd still be struggling with taking your pen up and down on every single letter to write that same thing. It's very efficient.
I could type the same paragraph on my phone without looking faster than you. So we have new skills.
That's true.
There's that.
That's true.
And like you said, it's kind of outdated because who's using cursive now? Like, we're more likely to be typing.
To even sign a ballot. We just voted this week in the presidential primary. And to even sign your ballot, you really want a printed name there? I don't know.
How much time?
Signature is like your identity.
How much time is that really going to save me? Well, I know how to do my
No,
signature
it's
in cursive.
an identity. Well, you just
it doesn't look
made
that
it
great.
up then? Exactly.
No, I did it with what I learned. Okay. My next thing is saying no. Why do we need to give a reason? No is enough. If you got invited to like an event from somebody, why do we feel like we gotta say, "Oh, I'm not feeling good," or no, I just don't want to.
I see what you're saying. From the person communicating no, that's fine. But as your dear friend, if I'm not used to no's, I'm logically gonna say, "Are you feeling okay? Is anything wrong?"
Yeah, then you can explain. But I feel like, I don't know, as an introvert, this is where this came from for me. As an introvert, I feel so stressed when people invite me out to do stuff. I don't want them to think like I don't want to see them or like I'm not interested in doing that stuff. I wish I was born an extrovert, but naturally I'm an introvert, and I've learned over the years that that's totally okay, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be home with my cats.
Is it okay to say no? I just don't want to go out tonight. I wouldn't take that personally.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why do we have to? Because sometimes we've talked about
you don't have to. You don't have to do anything.
You like sometimes you've said I'm your out for stuff. It's like, oh, you need me tonight, so you're my out. And I'm gonna say I need to be with you.
Well, that's if you felt like you needed a justification and you didn't want to give your real reasons. That's all I meant by that.
But no is enough. Why do you need reasons?
You don't.
Exactly.
But if you said no and they asked a question, would you say, why isn't no enough to your friends?
If you felt that way.
True.
Yeah.
It's about being honest. Oh, here's one. Saying I'm sorry too much. Oh my God, that's old.
I actually don't do it anymore, but when I was a kid...
No, I'm not thinking of you. I'm thinking of other people myself, I've known. They can't do anything without saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Why are you fucking sorry? It kind of gets back to the no thing, too.
Sometimes it's just... Well, it's something we're taught, right? Because when I was a kid, I used to say that a lot. I'd apologize for everything.
I didn't teach you to do that, though.
Well, we learn. I'm not saying we're literally taught it. Well, we're taught it through like experiences. I can't pinpoint it, but it is a learned thing.
Used too much. Well, it used to really bother me even when somebody has a loved one pass away, and people say I'm sorry. It seems like that then they're responsible for it.
And
it's like taking ownership.
Talk to you about
yes, but you've convinced me that it's like I'm sorry you're feeling bad, kind of thing. It's not. I don't know, that the expression is just a weird.
I'm so sorry you're going through that. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's what it means.
Yes.
Without saying I'm sorry for your loss. That's always what we're saying.
I think so. Yeah. Kind of come full circle.
It's like if you stubbed your toe, be like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
But I had a friend in school who constantly, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's kind of like nobody likes me. That kind of an I'm sorry. It's like, stop.
Well, this is another topic.
Hit it.
The people that are like, no one likes me. And they always say that.
That's nothing we can fix.
But like, why does it bother people?
That they say that?
Yeah.
Because it just shows low self-esteem.
Well, how do they think their self-esteem got low?
Wasn't because
nobody likes them.
Ah! Okay.
And if you're not going to like them because they're saying no one likes them, I don't know, why not befriend that person?
I might get comments on this one.
I just think people need to be nicer.
Oh, here's another one. Pride. Saying people are proud, because pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. Especially for me to say, I'm so proud of you.
Okay, you Catholic guilt.
That's like me taking responsibility for your success. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Like I created any great thing you created. It's like takes ownership. It takes away from you. There's nothing I like. I'm not comfortable with it.
When if I hear someone say I'm proud of you, which a lot of time, since you don't like to say it, and I don't really talk to Dad that often, it's like my friends or distant relatives, and we know, like, I mean, they didn't give birth to me, so if anyone's gonna take ownership, it's gonna be my parents. But even with them, I don't think they're trying to take ownership. They're just trying to support.
I didn't create you. Even
it's
as your
more
parent.
like
I applaud you for your accomplishments, and I tell you how outstanding it is. I don't say I'm proud. Beat my chest.
Would it make you feel better to say you should be proud?
No. There's no shoulds.
I think this is a Catholic guilt thing. Okay. Even my school, our logo was
matter of pride.
Yeah, what do you call that?
Well, then why
slogan? What do you call that?
Yeah, I don't know. But the whole pride thing being a sin is that beat the chest, so proud of myself, I'm better than everybody else. I don't like that ego-driven pat yourself on the back.
I just think nothing's black and white.
Fact.
There could be the people that take it that way.
It's all black and gray.
And there could be the people that take it like, I'm just really proud of you.
Okay. What do you got?
You're doing great. It's another way of saying that. My 1-minute obsessions and hobbies. Ukulele, studio, tarot, fixating on things, and then losing interest. Okay, this is something... Oh, there's Mocha. Hello. We're bumping knees.
At least we're not bumping uglies.
I knew you were going to say that. Here's the generational thing.
Okay.
Also, can you say what generation you're a part of?
I think everybody can tell by the white hair I'm a baby boomer.
Okay, boomer. That's a thing. And what the fuck am I? I'm a Gen Z.
I can't keep track.
I think I'm a Gen Z. Although something said I was a millennial, but I'm pretty sure I'm a Gen Z.
And I was an old mama with this one. I had my first child in 1980, and this one was 1999, so...
The turkey!
Most of y'all her age have a much younger mother by at least 10 years.
If you didn't see my Draw My Life video, I said I'm a turkey because I was born on Thanksgiving Day. Mm-hmm. My 1-minute obsessions, as I put it, is something I've dealt with as long as I can remember. I get really interested in one thing, and I kind of excel at it, or at least you would say. Ukulele, making rosaries, when I had the studio in my room and I was making music on my own, this streaming thing, which I'd like to think is not just a 1-minute obsession, but there's been so many things like that throughout my life where I just fixate on one thing, do really well at it, and then drop it after a while.
That's what you do with life. You sample things. I don't consider it an obsession, and it's not 1 minute. You're great.
I don't think, and even with school, like, I don't think I'm meant for one thing. And that's why this seems so ideal to me, because...
meant for one thing. Are you kidding me?
But the fucking narrative of life is, what do you want to be?
No.
One thing.
I don't think anybody does that anymore.
One thing. Go get your 1 degree, do your one thing, and be good at it.
One thing you make money at, so you can live. That's what they mean. Everybody's got different interests.
Yeah, but even that, I don't know if I'm meant for that.
Hobbies
I hate my life, because so much of your time is spent working. I would hate my life if it was one thing. Like, maybe I'm meant for temp things.
All the times I was working, I was doing side gigs too. Trying different things.
If I'm working, I'm not going to have a side gig. I'm sorry.
If you're driven to, you will.
Things. Multiple things.
Like if you're working full time and you still love streaming, you're going to be doing streaming at night even if you're working. The other gig.
Well, that's different. I'm talking about work. Streaming's not work until it's work. Right now, it's not. Yeah. So you relate to that? You think everyone experiences that?
Absolutely.
Name some of your 1-minute obsessions.
Like the oil paintings I did. I was doing one a day for a year or two, you know?
What else?
I was painting on anything I could get my hands on. I'd paint on plates I got at the thrift store because canvases were too expensive. I'd get cheap wall art from the thrift store to paint over it and do stuff. I'd paint on pieces of wood. Paint on rocks. So that's one. The music, you know, playing in the band, singing in a choir. I tried all those artistic things, and none of them made money for me. Well, the singing made money, but you spend as much on equipment and studio time and practice time, so it was a wash, but you know what I'm saying. I tried all kinds. I tried selling nutritional products. I'm no good at sales. And at least it got me a discount. I got wholesale prices on what I was taking, but I've tried all kinds of things. I could go on and on.
Okay.
But I'm boring myself.
I think just like with anything, there's a spectrum. Because some people, I think everyone has that, like you said, but some people can really dedicate themselves to one thing for a long time and still have that. Some people just can't be locked down to one thing.
But I think they all have hobbies, though. And if they could make money at their hobbies, and some people do.
Yeah.
And then they transition to that entirely, whether it's horses or chickens
streaming
or whatever. Yeah.
Art.
Yep.
Do you have anything else on your list, or is it just me now?
Nothing I want to bring up.
Anxiety. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, and since like middle school. Middle school is when I was diagnosed. Again, in my Draw My Life video. Now I'm dealing with some pretty bad anxiety. Panic attacks, dissociating, you name it. It's been awful. You have any anxiety stories you'd like to share?
A lot of things make me anxious, but it's not crippling. That's the difference.
Yeah.
It's healthy anxiety, which is more excited anticipation. You're still nervous. I get anxious even going to the bar to meet my friends, and I've been there 100 times.
Yeah, I've definitely had
walking in alone and all of it. I don't like it, but once I get there, I enjoy socializing, and we really need that. So, especially now that I'm retired.
So
retired 5 years ago, and then COVID hit.
I just imagine another person listening to you say that, being like, "What?" But I'm used
retired. Yeah.
So where I'm at with my anxiety now is I'm seeing my therapist once weekly, which I've been doing for a little over a year now, and therapy is very helpful. But as things have worsened, I've just been told to be kind to myself and observe it instead of like judge it or try to change it. And then eventually it will do the changing on its own. And as I learn how to regulate my body and not be as scared by the things that I'm feeling or not feeling at all, because that's kind of what dissociating is. It's just like, peace. I'm not going to feel nothing right now.
Damn, it's pouring outside.
And social anxiety. Oh my God. Yeah, I basically have a hard time in public spaces recently. But we're working on it, so. Then I wrote depression. Do you think you've been depressed in your life? You said yes, right?
Just when my whole world fell apart with the first divorce. Yep.
And what was it
Panic attacks.
What was it like for you, and how did you cope with it?
Well, I had 4 kids at home, and I had to cope with it. I had to keep on trucking no matter what I felt like.
I have 4 kids at home too. I have 4 cats, for those of you who don't know.
4-legged, furry.
I have 4 4-legged children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely been depressed. After Brian passed, I'm trying to think of when I fell into depression. It was like
that
late.
Rain is really loud.
It was actually late 2022, so I made it all throughout the first year of Brian's passing because dissociation. So I know anyone who has experienced it, it's really annoying, but it is there to protect us. And if I didn't dissociate that entire year and beyond, I would not have been able to handle the depression. So depression hit me late in like the end of 2022 up until like the beginning of 2023. And then it went away and I was doing good. And now it's like other stuff that's going on. And it's like delayed PTSD symptoms, which is great. Or at least that's what my counselor thinks it is. But I'm trying to get a psych eval right now. But yeah. What helped me through that time? Talking to people. I like to express myself, and the hardest thing about depression for me was feeling alone in it. So finding anyone I could connect with, which another thing I wrote on here was like support groups on Facebook. Anyone who uses Facebook, whatever you're dealing with, even if it is depression, anxiety, you name it, like there are support groups on Facebook that are extremely helpful. You can even make friends on there and talk to them directly or just post to the entire group, and I've found like really good community in that. And even though I'm not struggling as much with some of those things, like when I had just lost a partner and joined that group, like I was on there daily and talking to people. And now I see the posts every once in a while, people that just join the group, and it's always sad to see someone join a group like that, but they're always there, and then you'll always be there to help them in return, which feels good to help people with the unfortunate knowledge that you have, experiences that you have.
Never alone, though, no matter what it is. That's excellent. Support group, very helpful.
Yep. And then I wrote suicide. This is my coping mechanism. We're smiling now. This is me in therapy. This is literally me in therapy. My counselor's on the other end, and she's like, so let's talk about XYZ. And I'm like, okay. It's like, it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable.
Well, you need to get one of those paper plates like they have in that commercial that has an expression on it.
But, there's nothing wrong with having coping mechanisms.
And that would let her know how you're really feeling,
I'll smile through my tears, but at least I'm crying and talking about it.
Have your paper plate emoji.
But yeah. I'll put a trigger warning at the beginning of this, probably, if I include this stuff. But yeah, suicide sucks, man. Don't do it if you're thinking about doing it. I've thought about doing it, but I never did it because I experienced it from the point of view of losing someone that way, and it's so awful. No matter how bad I'm feeling, I would never ever put anyone I love through that. So go to therapy, or if therapy's not for you, connect with a support group, or just be around your friends, or be around your family, or your chosen family. Yeah. Anyone who doesn't know Dr. K, if you don't watch streamers or YouTube therapists, he's a licensed psychologist, I think, and psychiatrist? I can't remember. But I recommend his videos. He explains anything you could think of in the mental health world and gives ideas and ways to get through stuff and connects you with resources, and yeah, he's really cool.
Awesome.
Mom,
I'm done.
You've turned into like a brick wall through this. So you're done for real?
Yeah.
We gotta end it.
Short shit. Create joy. Create your own joy. Happiness is a choice. We used to have 1,000 quotes back in the day.
I get into the deep stuff and Mom is like, yep, bye.
No, I just don't. I don't want to. I said talk. Talk about it. Talk therapy, support groups. I was agreeing with.
I feel like we need to have a jingle or something.
When you're talking about that, it's not about me. It's just like, go.
It's about the topic.
See you next time.
I would kind of want to play my ukulele and make a jingle.
That's right. See, that wasn't a 1 minute. You taught yourself.
1 minute is a metaphor.
Okay.
We can freestyle
I'm literal.
An outro.
Mama
Thanks
and
for
me.
watching the podcast thing.
Mama,
we appreciate
you.
Me. Yeah. We just bob our head.
Bye.
Bye. And we'll
Mama,
see you next time.
Love yourself. Love each other. That's all I got. My ass is hurting. We should have had an agreement how long we were going to be sitting there.
Permission to use that?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got. My ass is hurting, yeah. My asthma. This rain was really